In this episode for home buyers, we talk about the 3 financial benefits for owning a home and the one main reason, the one real reason why home ownership matters. This is episode 38 of the Inside Real Estate Show. With me, Darin Persinger of PersingerGroup Real Estate, where we give you the insight behind the information, giving you the analysis and the advice so that you can make smart home buying and home selling and real estate investing decisions if that's your thing. If you want to get into investing, we can help you with that too. But welcome to the show, episode 38. This one's specifically for home buyers. Today we're going to be talking about financial benefits, which, I mean, that's great. But really, to me, that's a side benefit of what home ownership is really about. There's one main reason why I think home ownership matters, and I have a little anecdote, a little story to share with you. When we get there, when we get into that topic, that will be coming up later. First, let's do the number of the day.
What's the number? Stop, stop. What's the number? Stop, stop. What is the number? The number of the day.
$225,000. $225,000, actually. That is the projected net worth in 2016 of a homeowner, according to the Federal Reserve, because of a study that they did called the Survey of Consumer Finance. $225,000. Now, to give you some context to that, the projected net worth of a renter in 2016 will be $5,000. So we're talking about a $220,000 difference, simply because someone owns a home. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on iTunes, I'll have some link somewhere nearby that you'll be able to click on that to get some more information about that. Or you can head over to InsideRealEstateShow.com, and of course you'll be able to find the information in the link there. Let's do some housekeeping now.
Housekeeping?
If you're searching for a home online, that's where everyone's starting to search for a home. So if that's where you're at, you're just starting the process and you're looking online, head over to PersingerGroup.com, where you're going to find all the homes in our area for sale. Our area is Snohomish County, King County. That is our market. If you're watching this show or listening to this show and you're somewhere else in the country, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at Darin Persinger, and I'll direct you to the best website for you to search for homes in your local area there. Another thing that I want to bring up in this housekeeping, since you are searching for a home, you're a home buyer, I have a book that I wrote called Home Buying Made Easy. Again, if you're local, I would love to give you a copy of this book free of charge. Don't even charge shipping and handling. You can go request this book at homebuyingmadeeasybook.com. That's homebuyingmadeeasybook.com. If you're watching, listening somewhere else in the country, that book should be available later this year being 2016. Let's get into the main topic. Okay, on the main topic here, I'm gonna have to bring out the trusty whiteboard. I will do my best communicating this. If you're listening to the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you're listening to a podcast at now, I'll do my best to communicate it verbally, but this is a little bit of a visual aid that I want to provide for you as we talk about the financial benefits of home ownership and one really specific benefit that you really can't overlook. So let's talk about financial benefit number 1, and this looks like a triangle. That's what I'm drawing right now as you're listening to this on the podcast potentially. There's 3 financial benefits, and it's like a 3-legged table or a triangle. All 3 combine to add up to a great reason of homeownership, and why in that first segment we talked about the number of the day, why a homeowner is able to have such a high net worth because of homeownership. These three things really start to add up. Number one is paid equity. What that means is when you get your mortgage, you're paying down two things. You're paying the interest on the loan, which, by the way, mortgage rates right now, ridiculously low, like lower than 4%. Don't quote me on that, but talk to a mortgage lender. If you need help finding a mortgage lender, reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you. But when I look at the early 80s, what mortgage rates were, they were like 18%. So your mortgage interest rates are so low, that helps with home affordability. But what you're doing is you're paying back your loan, and you're also paying down the principal. So if you borrow money on a $300,000 mortgage, every month you're paying down that $300,000 a little bit more. Now in the beginning of your mortgage, you're paying down your principal a little bit. But as time goes on, by years 2 or 3, you're paying down a bigger chunk of it. By year 5, you're paying down a big chunk of it. Get into years 10, 15, 20, huge chunks of it. And the longer you own that home, the further you go along with that process, the bigger each monthly payment pays down your principal. It's not like paying down a credit card where your minimum payment never quite gets you there to be able to pay off the credit card. Every month you're chipping away at what you actually owe, plus paying back the interest. So every month you're building equity because you're paying down what you owe. Number 2 financial benefit of homeownership, your tax savings. For whatever reason, as of now, the government in the United States of America rewards people for home ownership because you're allowed to write off some of the costs that owning a home brings to you. So that interest that I talked about on the paid equity, that bigger chunk, you get to write that off. That's amazing. So any interest that you're paying, could you imagine the benefit if you were able to pay off or write off the cost of what the interest was on your credit card? You can't do that in your credit card. You can't do that in your auto loan. You can't do that on a bunch of money that you're borrowing, but you do get to do it on your mortgage. Huge benefit. The other thing is you get to write off your property taxes. So whatever your property taxes are, deduct that from your income too. There's more benefit of your tax savings, and that would be a great reason to sit down and talk to us, but more importantly, talk to your tax advisor, your CPA, someone that really specializes in taxes. And they'll be able to walk you through this tax savings benefit. So what we're really talking about here is if your mortgage is $1,500 and you're paying rent is $1,500, you're actually going to be saving money on your mortgage because you're writing off your mortgage interest, your property taxes, things like that. So another financial benefit. Financial benefit number 3 of homeownership. All right, the triangle is complete, and the third reason that you're able to create such great net worth and the financial benefit of homeownership is appreciation. Let me twist it around there so you really see that. Now our triangle is complete. Appreciation. That is simply owning the home as it goes up in value. And why does a home go up in value? Well, I've been wanting to do a whole episode on just that because I think there's some myth understandings about why home ownership really goes up. But the simple answer is there's just 1, you have the land that the home is on. 2, you have the property, so the cost of goods, the labor, electrical. So those are the 3 financial benefits, and why someone that owns a home has basically a 45 times greater net worth than someone who rents. Renting, you're not getting any of this. Now, let me tell you what I believe is the number one benefit of home ownership, though, and it has nothing to do with the finances of it. Security. I'm not talking about like people breaking in or the neighborhood that you live in or anything like that. I'm talking about the fact that you know where you're going to live next year, the fact that you know where you're going to live 3 years from now, 5 years from now, if you choose to. Now, you can always sell your home, or you can always go buy another home and keep that home and rent that out. But if you want to stay there for whatever reasons you want, you love your view, you love your location, your proximity to work, you like the school district that you're in, so you want to keep that house, you want to stay living in that school district because your kids are involved in the school there, they love their friends, they don't want to move. You don't have to move because this is your place. A landlord can't come and say, hey, you need to pay me $500 more a month in rent, or I'm selling the property, so now you got to get out. And I want to tell you a quick story, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, imagine that you have the triangle. I draw a triangle and I have paid equity, appreciation, and tax savings on the outside because those are the 3 financial benefits. And then I have security on the inside because to me that's the primary benefit of home ownership. But let me tell you a quick story. I know someone in the town that we live in, our primary place where we sell real estate, and they were renting. They moved to this town, had a young child, and they were renting. And they were renting for 3 years until the landlord came and said, hey, real estate market's doing great. I've held onto this property long enough. I'm ready to sell it. You gotta get out. Now, you could be going, what, aren't there landlord-tenant laws? Landlord was doing everything on the up and up. Lease is coming up. I'm giving you enough notice. I want you out so that I can have a vacant home, that I can paint, put new flooring in, and sell the home at a premium price so I can cash out and move on with my life. Now, what do you do if you're that parent, if you're that mom going, well, I'm here because I love the school district now, my kid loves the school district, all their friends are here, their after school programs, the things that they're involved in are here in this town. Now you have to scramble, and that's what she started to do. She had to scramble looking for the next place, trying to find another place to rent in that school district, and then immediately had an aha of, you know, if I rent again, even though I'll find a place in the school district, this could happen to me again, and I don't want to have to go through this process again. So what she decided to do was become a homeowner. It wasn't about the 3 financial benefits of what we talked about. It was about this, the security. Anytime you're renting, unless you're signing some sort of crazy 20-year or 30-year lease, there's always the possibility that your landlord can change their mind, increase your monthly rate, do something that pulls the rug out from underneath you, and that's not your home anymore. And it's not just your home that you're losing, it's the neighborhood, it's the community, it's the school district, it's all the other things that living in that one specific place gave you. So, something to think about, not just the financial benefit, but the security that home ownership brings. And always, I want to remind you that home is what you make it, so make it someplace you love.